video for our kids someday. We're like, hi kids, this is your father and your mother.
Hey kids, this is me and your mom.
The year is 2025.
And
we're getting married.
Podcasts are still cool, so that's why we're doing this.
Mm-hmm. Welcome back to another episode, you guys. Today I have Jimmy. Why are you looking at the camera like that?
Because I can't see anything. because we'll show
Jimmy's
them.
blind.
We're gonna
Just put on
show
your
them.
glasses. It's okay. No one's gonna make fun
look,
of you.
There's a lot. No, it's just like the glare is irritating to me.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Take it off. Take it off.
View.
So for anyone new here, this is my fiance Jimmy. He's here with me today. He comes back every once in a while to break down.
I'm a recurring character.
Yes, he's a recurring character. He's here today to help me break down the 3 small talk news stories for you to share with your patients this week. Because, well, one, he was an expert in one of the subject matters for one of the small talk
I love being a
stories.
Subject matter expert in something that has nothing to do with my
healthcare.
day.
Yeah. I feel like I've never actually defined on the podcast, so let me just define it quick. This is my criteria when I'm picking news stories. 1 has to be a person, place, or thing that everyone would know. I don't want in the weeds celeb gossip that you had to like see a show for or something. I want something that literally like my 60-year-old patient would know the same amount as my like 18-year-old patient. 2 has to be positive. 3, I don't really get into the weeds on like politics or religion. This is purely small
I wish
talk.
you did sometimes. You know why?
Well, that's a different show.
Sometimes it's fun.
That's not a quick pinch. That's a painful pinch.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so this is the first small talk news story of the week. So Jimmy, do you remember the Harry Potter movies? The actress that plays Lavender Brown?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm about to say?
Is she doing porn?
Somewhat adjacent. So, the actress Jessie Cave, who plays Lavender Brown in the Harry Potter movies, just announces she's releasing an OnlyFans page for her hair. For sensual hair posts only.
Just sensual hair posts?
Yes.
I'm not going to subscribe to that one.
She specifically said, I'm launching an OnlyFans. It's not a sexual one. It's a fetish. Fetish doesn't necessarily mean sexual, which I have to...
So can you not sell your hair on Patreon?
Well, she's not selling... You mean content of her hair?
I guess, like, yeah, could, like, sensual hair content be okay for Patreon? Like, why does it have to be OnlyFans?
Well, my question is, what counts as sensual hair content? Is she washing her hair? Is she blow-drying her hair? Is she, like, massaging her? Like, what is sensual hair content? I didn't know if you had any input on this. That's also what his subject matter expert is. I'm just kidding.
Porn.
No, I'm just kidding. My dad listens to this.
Could we maybe like refresh on like what exactly sensual means? Because I know it's like not sexual, but it doesn't feel quite platonic either.
It has undertones. Okay, so let me just Google what the word sensual.
I think we just need to define.
And then I also want to define fetish.
Give me the Merry-Web of this.
Okay.
Merriam-Webster for short. You know.
Yeah. So this is vocabulary.com. Does that still count? Or
no,
do you want Oxford?
I want like an
Fine.
I want an expert in diction.
Here is Merriam-Webster, the OG.
Yeah. Sensual,
an adjective, relating to or consisting in the gratification of the senses or the indulgence of appetite. So not sexual. And then let me just also look up...
But the indulgence of appetite, guess what type of appetite people have sometimes? A sexual appetite.
But sometimes people... I love slime videos. Well, no, but I wouldn't say that those are sensual. Never mind.
I guess I don't know why that... Like the whole point of being on the OnlyFans is like so that it's something like they have to pay to see the content.
Something about you saying hair makes me think about when you were in high school. Did you ever like have a crush on a girl and you were like, she has nice hair? Like, were you ever like she her hair smells nice?
Yeah, I feel like anytime like any girl I knew like would be near me, I'd be like, oh, nice smelling hair.
Like, I feel like
I feel like girls always have good smelling hair. Like, no matter how cute they are, their hair always smells pretty good.
No, wait, can I just say,
no, there's some girls with busted hair too. But...
glad we're talking about this topic. I didn't know where this topic was going to lead us, but I'm so glad we're talking about this because I've never said this out loud. Do you guys, okay, my dentist people out there will know this, but my non-healthcare people, I never knew this until I became a dentist. Your shower before you go to the dentist, because your dentist, the way that we work on people, their head is right at like my lap level. So I'm inhaling within my mask scalp all day. So I know if someone has a good smelling scalp or a bad smelling scalp. And I feel like 8 out of 10 times it's like not a great smelling scalp. Like, I just feel like I never realized how smelly scalps are.
Well, you know who's probably not gonna have a smelly scalp?
Who?
Lavender Brown.
Yeah, she's probably not.
I mean, lavender. Think about like what lavender would smell like in the hair.
But brown. So she can I just say she wrote in her Substack. She
Wait, can
said,
I see what her hair looks like right now? Like, did she go Emma Watson cut, or does like
no,
she's
it's like
long
longer.
locks?
Let me show you. She actually looks like quite nice.
Okay, quite
So
nice.
so Brown wrote in her. She has a Substack blog, and she said she's gonna do it for the OnlyFans for 1 year. I'll try it for 1 year. My aim: to get the house safe, to cover the arsenic/lead wallpaper, build a new roof. My aim: to get out of debt. My aim: to empower myself, to prove to those in the past who have misjudged me that I'm not so sweet, to put time into something I've never invested in before, self-love. And then she goes on to say, it feels like I'm doing something naughty, something a little messed up. I like that, ripping up the good little actress rulebook. I'm just like, you were just out here saying like it's not supposed to be a sexual thing, and now I feel like she's like admitting that it is. So I'm kind of like, so you admit it is.
I don't think she's necessarily admitted. Like, she's like, yeah, it does feel not like. Here's the thing: is it like her and her hair, and she's also in her underwear, and like that's where it's turning into a thing. So it's just gonna be like her and her hair, like fully clothed.
She's
like,
just posting videos of her hair.
Okay, but like, so how many of those things are like people gonna want to see?
I don't know.
Is her hair like, because it's so curly? It is very curly in the movie. Is it naturally curly?
I don't know, but
is
I feel
that
like
what it still looks like?
I'm actually looking at my hair a lot in this video now. Okay, let me just show you what her hair looks like. This is her hair right now. This is a video.
I'm starting OnlyFans.
Oh, she's got some really long hair.
It looks nice. It looks soft, silky.
It's not curly though.
Like
so she's literally posting this. Do you see how she's like fully clothed, like just pictures of her? She's brushing,
like brushing her hair.
Like that. That's the kind of thing.
Wow, it's really pretty. It's very smooth.
Okay. So basically, people are subscribing to her Substack already. Probably paying a little bit of money to be on that. Now she's just looking for another income stream.
Pretty much. She admitted she wants to buy a house,
but like,
or fix up her house.
I feel like not every actress that like makes an OnlyFans or like one of those accounts like has to come out and say it. Like, we all know you're doing it to make money. Like, you don't need to tell us that.
It's like we're not doing this for free.
Like, I'm like, oh, like there's arsenic in your walls. Like, let's get that checked out.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that was like a euphemism or a metaphor for something else.
Do you think that's like an issue over the pond?
I think so.
Okay, because like,
you know what's interesting that I think about? So I'm always like, oh, America, so unhealthy, like all the chemicals. But I'm like, it sounds like they have lead and arsenic in their walls over in the UK.
Well, I think the UK, like, I was learning about like the Jack the Ripper times.
Ooh,
and apparently there was a
spooky.
huge like overcrowding issue and like not enough homes for people. And they just had all these like kind of like places where people would just go to like rent a bed for the night.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was actually just like a rope that you could hang on if you didn't find a bed.
So you just hang on a rope all night?
So you would like get drunk and then hang on the rope, and that's why it's called a hangover.
What? That's so crazy.
I'm spitting facts right now.
I'm so glad I hired you to come on today.
I think in like the UK, like at one point, like they just like the conditions weren't great because they're all tight together, and I wonder if like there's just like there's houses that are probably really old there, so they maybe like back in the day, like, yeah, arsenic's great for the decor.
Now time for story number 2, which is why I brought on Jimmy, our subject matter. The Cheetozard, a Pokemon-shaped Cheeto, sold for $88,000. Here's why.
Sure did.
So basically, I'm a little like upset that this article didn't give me any backstory as to who found. So someone was eating a bag of Cheetos, and they noticed one of the Cheetos looked like a Charizard, a Pokemon.
Should you let your subject matter expert take over?
Well, have you heard more?
I mean, I kind of know
You tell the story.
I know like the rough paper trail. Like, you might need to fill in like the names or something. So I'm not too sure. Like, I'm a little fuzzy in the middle there. Sometime last year, someone went on eBay and had the what we would call in the industry a raw Cheetozard, meaning that it is not authenticated or like encased in plastic, which we would call a slab.
Are you like giggling to yourself?
It's funny.
So nerdy. Wait, can I ask, do we know the identity of this person?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Like, it's eBay. The whole point of selling on eBay is like partial anonymity in a way.
Okay.
Like, not entirely. Like, I don't know if they were like a well-known. Anyways, at some point, someone plucked this Cheeto out of a bag of Cheetos. I think it was like a flamin' hot Cheeto. It's not like, so it's not a Cheeto
spicy.
puff. It kind of like had grooves, ridges, like, you know, kind of. I mean, it looks like a Charizard. It sells on eBay for just $300, actually, which is kind of crazy.
Wait, so it's sold?
So it sold on eBay for $300. Whoever bought that $300 thing and like was like, I know what I got, went to, I don't know if they immediately went to Ken Golden with this, or
Wow.
I'm not sure how they like, because it's in its own little like case and it kind of got like authenticated by somebody and like is kind of out there, and like, you know, the preservatives in that thing, it's not gonna like go turn to dust anytime soon.
No, but imagine being the authenticator sweating as you're like, do not crumble the edge of its wing.
Imagine like you're just so stressed, you're like, I could really use a snack right now, and you're like,
you're just like, and you're like,
well, it's just so funny because like it could have been all over if this first guy that grabbed it out of the bag.
You know what I was thinking?
What?
It could have been all over if literally like the person that found it was just like, oh, it looks like a Charizard. That's funny. Because I feel like that happens like all the time.
Yeah, like it's the same thing as when they found like the Virgin Mary on the grilled cheese.
Oh, I have something to add about that, but go on.
But so, yeah, this is like not the first time like a weird object that resembled something, like food item, has sold like this. But it was pretty wild. I don't know exactly, how it fell into Ken Golden's hands, like over at Golden Auctions.
So Golden
King of Collectibles
Auctions
on Netflix is his show.
Give them some context about
Golden's like an auction house. So eBay is like obviously auction stuff out, but there are like kind of more premium auction houses out there. So they specialize in sports and pop culture. So
it's like an elite auction house.
Like
think like
elite,
eBay, but like elite.
Think like multiple zeros in the bank accounts of the people that are even considering bidding. Like if I bid on just one of the items that they sell, we'd be bankrupt.
Wait, can I just say that like if this happened in medieval times, we would think that this was like a message from God. Like we would think like something about like the Charizard is God.
So it ends up getting authenticated. I don't exactly understand how you authenticate a Cheeto. I understand a little bit more how you authenticate cards and stuff. And it's not like you can be like, this Cheeto's in mint condition the way you can with a card. Like it's a Cheeto. It's crazy. And it kind of resembles the fire lizard himself. I'll give him that. It really looks like a Charizard, but $87,000. It's kind of like a meme.
88,000.
Yeah. So it was like 87 and some change. It wasn't all the way to 88.
Oh, okay. 60 bidders bid on it.
Yeah, so a lot of people bid on it. That doesn't really necessarily mean all that much, because I think a lot of those early bidders probably like, I'm probably not going to win this. Like
they're like, oh, it's so funny.
It kind of like surprised everyone. I think like we all kind of knew like, oh, there was this Cheetozard that's going up for auction. They've been kind of advertising it a little bit.
Yeah.
But then no one expected it was going to go for that outrageous amount, because there's so much other stuff in the Pokemon space, especially that has like, there's very few cards that are worth more than that. I would rather have one of the cards that is, I think, less niche.
This is just one.
This is just one Cheeto that's on someone's shelf now.
Well, this is just one big example of the power of saying you won't. Like, I feel like that's what it is.
But I think this is highlighting. So if people don't know, we are in a large Pokemon boom right now. A lot of people are getting interested because we have the Pokemon TCG Pocket app that just came out.
Well, you know what's
so that's gotten people into Pokemon, and sometimes people get into Pokemon and they just happen to be billionaires, and then they can do what they want. That's what Logan Paul does. He gets scammed on Pokemon cards all the time because he can afford to.
Right. It is kind of like a sign of the times. I think there's going to be an incredible merge happening, because at the same time that Jimmy mentioned that there's this spike in like interest of Pokemon, there's also a very severe sudden spike of snack collectibles, this article was telling me. So I wonder if it's going to create its own sub niche of Pokemon snack collectibles. So people are going to go out there now looking and hunting for like chicken nuggets that look like a Pokemon, because in 2017 a Cheeto shaped like Harambe the gorilla sold for $99,900 on eBay.
So this is not the first time we've
not the
had
first Cheeto.
a Cheeto even do this. That's kind of crazy.
Jimmy, I think it's time we buy a bag of Cheetos. We should make a video where we buy a bag of Cheetos and see what like pop culture icon shapes we can find.
Didn't you watch my video where I found?
Yes.
I found every single Pokemon that resembles a worm or a snake.
In
a
Jack's.
bag of Jack's Puffs.
Okay, another interesting thing is in 2022, A McDonald's Sichuan sauce packet from
I
1998
remember this.
sold for $14,700 after Rick and Morty's fans revived the interest in the sauce from the show.
Yep.
And then in 2023, an Among Us chicken nugget, a chicken nugget shaped like an Among Us crewmate. That's like the little robot things, right? It sold for $100,000. So basically, it's
there's a market for this, like,
yeah, and it's really interesting because this article highlights that a couple things. One, food isn't just food. Now food is like entertainment, branding, cultural things. Snack collecting is not just like a hobby. it could literally be an investment. And this article is funny. It says the line between memes and real world value is disappearing. It's just like that's their way of saying like every day we stray farther from God.
Yeah, but like here's the thing. Will Cheetozard go up in value? Like if it sells again in a couple years? Like has that Harambe Cheeto like resold
That's an
since
excellent
then?
question. I don't think so because the article would have said so.
Right. Like it's really funny, but it's like
Ridiculous.
as someone that likes to collect things, like this is not where you put your money.
You know what I'm curious about? I don't figure out what I was curious about.
Curious about ASMR hair brushing videos?
I'm still stuck on that.
Will you be subscribing?
I want to know her hair care tips. Like, how does she get it so shiny?
She just seems like a girl that hasn't gotten a haircut in a while.
Yeah.
To be honest, like she's like, yeah, I'm actually doing this so I can get a haircut.
So I can afford a haircut.
Once I get the arsenic out of the walls, I'm getting a haircut.
Okay. Real props belongs to whoever bought the hot Cheeto for the $300.
Yeah, well,
and then brought it to
you have
Golden.
the article, don't you?
Yeah, but like it didn't tell me anything about that.
Okay.
Like in terms of that. But you know what? Now I'm curious about the Harambe Cheeto. I want to.
Can I see?
Yeah. It's so funny.
Oh, that's crazy. That looks like 3 Cheetos put together.
Let me see if I can like get it close enough where you can see it.
It honestly doesn't look all that different from the Cheetozard.
We need to like go to the grocery store, get a bunch of.
Well, the
Cheetos.
Harambe one's funny because like the Charizard one is like kind of like it's like unmistakable.
Yeah.
Whereas like the other one is just a gorilla.
I guess.
Like, you know what I mean?
They
like,
just branded it.
It's an
as
animal,
Harambe.
but they're like, it's Harambe. Like, that is genius in and of itself.
So now on to the third story. This one, in retrospect, just feels kind of like boring compared to the first two.
Well,
but
let's spice it up.
Well,
then.
I just feel like we
make
had to
it
talk
fun.
about it
We'll make
because
fun.
I just figured like this is something I would chat about with a patient tomorrow.
Okay.
Steve Carell surprises students affected by Los Angeles wildfires with free prom tickets. So Steve Carell is working with a charity. It's called Alice's Kids. It's a charity that basically provides like financial assistance to kids. Their whole platform is like self-esteem and stuff like that. So he basically said, I'm working with them and that we will be working together to pay for all of your prom tickets at 6 high schools in Southern California.
I guess that's nice, but I kind of think like, hey, sorry you don't have a home, but guess what? You're the prom queen.
For everyone?
No, I don't know. Like I hope the prom king and queen at these schools is one of the people that lost their home.
So
I don't
actually,
hope that anyone lost their home, but I hope like if they did, like
right.
they at least get some kind of bragging rights.
But not everyone can be prom queen. That's only good for one person.
But like, so yeah, you pick the person that looks like they're gonna peak in high school to give that to them. Let them have their peak, and then
because that would have been their year, you know?
Right, like it would have been Stacy's year, and then the trailer park burned down, and now she has no chance of getting out of this town.
The movie writes itself, really.
It truly does.
So I picked this story because I was just curious, like, what the public thoughts were, because like front facing, I'm like, oh, how nice. Steve Carell's paying for kids to have like a normal semblance of like a normal life by having prom. But I'm kind of also like, can't he just donate to the parents so that kids can have a home again? Like there are literally people without homes.
But also, is it like, are things never enough with celebrities being generous? Like he
that's a good point.
Choose how to like be generous, and like he is opting to do so, where like there are probably people that have similar levels of fame and money to him that aren't doing anything for anyone.
This is true. This is a really good point.
Think about that.
and the children. So they posted a video of the children receiving the prom tickets. Or just
Were
like
they,
like
excited?
yeah,
They're
they
probably more
sounded
excited to
really
see-
excited.
Did Steve Carell show up?
But how do they all really know who Steve Carell is? Like, they're young. Like, they barely probably watch The Office.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like what he's been in recently.
Like, not much. Is this him trying to be relevant?
He was on like a Fox show for a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like some
Like,
outer space show.
I'm just curious, like, what the kids have been thinking. But you're right. I think a good deed is a good deed.
Mm-hmm.
But it would just be because it's like, where are they getting ready for this prom if they don't have houses?
I'm sure some of them have houses.
Yeah, it's just so sad. Also, like, another take on this that I feel like is important is that people act like the LA fires were like just rich people and famous people, but like so many normal people got affected by it. So it was actually
Right.
like very devastating for like the community.
It's whole like towns and communities, so it's like a lot of people were affected. But I do think that there's, like I think people kind of think about like, oh yeah, that celebrity's house burned down. Good. Didn't want him to have a
it's
house.
like it's really sad actually. Wait. You like how in the beginning of this video I was like, small talk news is happy. And now I'm like, wait, how did we end up here? Now I feel sad.
Well, I think we were good with just 2 stories. We just gush about how much we like Gabby Windey.
Okay, so for the third small talk news story of the week.
Yeah, actually, that's a great. Yeah, so the Traitors.
So you guys,
season finale.
Jimmy and I have been obsessed with the one, the only Gabby Windey.
Gabriella
from Traitors. So if you've been watching Traitors, you know who she is. She's just lived so many lives. She's a contestant on Traitors, but before that, she was an ICU nurse for 5 years while also being a cheerleader for the Denver Broncos, while afterwards going on The Bachelor, then being the Bachelorette, then going on Dancing with the Stars and winning 2nd place.
Then becoming a lesbian.
Oh, right. Then becoming a lesbian.
Now on the Traitors. Yeah, like left her fiance that she got from the Bachelorette or whatever.
Yeah.
Got and won the Traitors and is literally the funniest person I've ever like her. Go listen to her podcast. It's very different from what you're going to hear over here.
Well, I actually feel like I enjoy her as a person, but her podcast, like, it's really hard for me to understand.
It's like one giant tangent
and just kind of slam poetry.
It's like stream of consciousness slam poetry, but every once in a while she says something like really funny.
Yes. So that was basically 2 small talk stories into one. Steve Carell is getting prom tickets for high school students for 6 different schools, I think up to 800 students. And we love Gabby Windey from Traitors.
Yeah. We'll see how long her star shines bright.
Well, she just signed, actually, that's small talk news today. She signed a contract with UTA, like United Talent Agency or something.
But like, she was probably with another talent agency before this.
She was, but this one represents like Nick Jonas, Cynthia Erivo.
This is like the big one.
Like, she's like a big wig now.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Impressive, yeah.
For the fact that she was a nurse during the pandemic.
I'm like, that was like last year.
And got a ganglionic cyst from it.
I love that she talked about that. I love that she like knows so much like medical terminology.
Yeah, but she is fantastic. I think she's like coming into her own, really being her true self now too.
Yeah, we were just saying how like she's such a good inspiration for other people. Like, this is what happens when you just are your true self. Like, you can like not everyone is like that lovable or entertaining.
Wasn't she not well received as a Bachelor? Like when she was on Bachelor originally, like she was like too like quirky, like she was too herself.
I don't know if it was necessary. Well, I don't think there's anything such thing as being to yourself, but I just think that she wasn't appreciated for her time on that show. But also that show's like viewership was like kind of toxic. Like back in the day, like people were so obsessed with The Bachelor. Now I don't think like the viewership is alive even, but I just feel like there was a time when it was just kind of toxic, and so maybe she just didn't fit the mold of like who they wanted, and that's why it didn't work. But that's why I'm glad that she didn't give up, and she just like kept like taking opportunities like where they would let her in. Like they gave her Bachelorette, she took it. They gave her Dancing with the Stars, she got 2nd place. They gave her Traitors, she won. Like she's just someone that always comes out on top. And I really respect that. And so she's just a good reminder to just fully be yourself and show up, and like your dreams can come true.
Yeah, even if you're talking about weird things on your podcast.
Mm-hmm. So anyways,
be yourself.
Yeah. Anyways, that was this week's episode. I hope you guys enjoy. Leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Share these small talk news stories with someone this week. See what conversations you can have. Mm-hmm. And other than that, we will see you guys next week.
Toodaloo.
Bye.